Welcome back to HouseLux Estate, the home of insightful business knowledge and advice. We truly appreciate the time you're investing to broaden your understanding of the world of business. Today, we're going to delve into a topic that's as enlightening as it is somber: lessons from businesses that fell from grace. There's an old saying, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. This adage holds true in the business world as well. We often celebrate success stories, but it's equally essential to learn from the businesses that stumbled and fell. These businesses, once leaders in their industries, experienced downfall due to a myriad of reasons, from complacency and missed opportunities to mismanagement and disruptive innovation. By understanding their mistakes, we can avoid the same pitfalls, allowing us to navigate the unpredictable business landscape with more confidence and wisdom. So, without further ado, let's dive into the 10 lessons from businesses that fell from grace. Our first case study is Kodak, once a titan of the photography industry. With a history steeped in innovation, Kodak was at the forefront of the photographic world for over a century. Yet, despite its pioneering past, Kodak failed to foresee the digital revolution that would fundamentally change the photography landscape. As the world moved towards digital, Kodak clung stubbornly to film. Its reluctance to embrace the new technology was its undoing. While competitors were developing digital cameras and online photo-sharing platforms, Kodak was investing in outdated technology. The company's downfall wasn't due to a lack of resources or knowledge. They had the talent and the technology. The problem was a failure of imagination, an inability to see beyond the familiar and adapt to the inevitable. By the time Kodak realized its mistake, it was too late. The lesson here is clear: adapt or perish. Next up, we have Blockbuster, a once dominant video rental chain. At the height of its power, Blockbuster was the go-to place for movie rentals, boasting over 9,000 stores worldwide. But as the digital age dawned, Blockbuster failed to recognize the seismic shift towards online streaming. It's a classic case of a giant failing to adapt to the changing landscape. But here's the real kicker. Blockbuster had the opportunity to partner with a then little-known company called Netflix. Yes, that Netflix, the one that now has over 200 million subscribers worldwide. It's hard to imagine how different things could have been if Blockbuster had seized this opportunity. But instead, they rejected the offer, a decision that would ultimately lead to their downfall. The takeaway? Always stay ahead of industry trends and be open to new business opportunities. Because sometimes the next big thing might be right under your nose waiting to be discovered. Let's now turn our attention to Toys R Us, an iconic toy retailer. Once a formidable giant in the toy industry, its towering giraffe mascot Jeffrey was a familiar sight to many. The downfall of Toys R Us, however, is a classic example of a business that failed to adapt in a rapidly changing retail landscape. As the digital revolution gained momentum, online retailers like Amazon began to dominate the market. They offered a wider range of products, competitive prices, and the convenience of shopping from home. Toys R Us, on the other hand, remained anchored in their brick-and-mortar model, failing to fully embrace e-commerce. Furthermore, they didn't keep up with shifting consumer preferences. Kids were moving from traditional toys to digital entertainment, but Toys R Us didn't adjust their product offerings accordingly. The lesson here is to constantly innovate and stay relevant in an ever-evolving market. Remember BlackBerry, the once king of smartphones? Back then, BlackBerry was synonymous with smartphones, a leader in the field with its innovative technology and cutting-edge designs. But as time went on, BlackBerry's crown started to slip. What happened? Complacency happened. BlackBerry, resting on its laurels, failed to innovate and evolve with the rapidly changing tech landscape. It stuck to its old ways, banking on its past success to carry it into the future. But the future had other plans. The rise of touchscreens and app-centric smartphones from competitors like Apple and Samsung left BlackBerry in the dust. Despite repeated warnings from market analysts, BlackBerry remained complacent. It took the company too long to realize that it was losing ground, and by the time it tried to catch up, it was too late. The lesson here is clear. Complacency is a business's worst enemy. Always strive for improvement. Our next case study is Lehman Brothers, a global financial services firm. Lehman Brothers was once a titan on Wall Street, but in 2008, the firm filed for bankruptcy, leaving a gaping wound in the world's financial markets. The collapse of Lehman Brothers was largely due to their risky business decisions. They had an aggressive investment strategy, heavily betting on the housing market. When the housing bubble burst, Lehman Brothers found themselves in deep water. They had over-leveraged themselves, taking on more risk than they could handle. This, paired with a lack of transparency and poor corporate governance, led to their downfall. Lehman Brothers' demise serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of excessive risk-taking and the importance of maintaining a balanced portfolio. This is not just true for financial firms, but for any business. The lesson here? Risk management is crucial in business. Let's now examine Nokia, a former leader in the mobile phone industry. This Finnish company was once the giant of the cell phone market, boasting a market share of 40% in the early 2000s. But as the smartphone era dawned, Nokia failed to keep up. It clung to its old operating system, Symbian, while competitors like Apple and Samsung embraced new, user-friendly platforms. Nokia's resistance to change was its Achilles heel. It underestimated the competition and overestimated its own invincibility. By the time Nokia realized its mistake, it was too late. The company's market share plummeted, and in 2013, it sold its phone business to Microsoft. This was a shocking downfall for a company that had once been synonymous with mobile phones. The lesson here? Never underestimate the competition. Next, we have Sears, a former retail giant. Once an undisputed king of the retail world, Sears held the hearts and wallets of the American people. Yet, the turn of the 21st century saw the giant stumble and eventually fall. The culprit? A failure to adapt to the rapidly evolving retail landscape. As the internet began to reshape how we shop, Sears clung stubbornly to its brick-and-mortar roots. While other retailers were moving online, Sears seemed to be stuck in the past. To make matters worse, when they finally did attempt to navigate the world of e-commerce, they did so with a lack of vision and strategy. Their online presence was weak, their website clunky and unattractive. They failed to provide the seamless, convenient shopping experience that customers had come to expect. So while rivals like Amazon soared, Sears plummeted. In business, adaptation is key. Sears' story is a sobering reminder of what can happen when a company fails to evolve with the times. Our final case study is Enron, a former energy company. Once a beacon of innovation and success, Enron's story is a cautionary tale of how unethical practices can lead to a company's downfall. Enron executives created a web of complex financial structures, using accounting loopholes to hide debt and inflate profits. This, in turn, boosted the company's stock price, attracting more investors. However, like a house of cards, this intricate facade came crashing down. In 2001, the company declared bankruptcy, wiping out billions in investment and retirement funds, and leading to the indictment of several top executives. This tale of corporate greed and deception serves as a stark reminder that, ultimately, business is about trust. When a company betrays that trust, the repercussions can be catastrophic. The lesson here? Ethics matter in business. Let's recap the lessons we've learned today. In the story of Kodak, we saw the consequences of failing to adapt to technological advancements. Even the most established businesses must be ready to evolve, or they risk becoming obsolete. Blockbuster's tale teaches us the importance of seizing opportunities. Had they taken the chance to purchase Netflix in its infancy, their story could have been drastically different. It's a reminder to keep an open mind and be ready to take calculated risks. The fall of toys. Our Us highlighted the perils of carrying too much debt and neglecting to invest in customer experience. Businesses must strike a balance between expansion and financial health, while also staying attuned to the needs of their customers. BlackBerry's decline showed the dangers of complacency. Even when you're on top, never stop innovating and pushing boundaries. Resting on your laurels can lead to a rapid downfall. The collapse of Lehman Brothers was a stark reminder of the importance of ethical business practices and risk management. Unethical behavior and unchecked risk-taking can lead to catastrophic consequences. Nokia's downfall taught us the value of understanding and responding to market changes. Businesses must stay in tune with consumer trends and be ready to pivot their strategies accordingly. The fall of Sears emphasized the importance of a strong online presence in today's digital age. Brick-and-mortar businesses must adapt to the online landscape or risk being left behind. Finally, the collapse of Enron showcased the disastrous effects of poor corporate governance and lack of transparency. Integrity and transparency are not optional. They are integral to a business's long-term survival. These lessons from businesses that fell from grace are not meant to scare us, but rather to enlighten us. They serve as valuable reminders of the pitfalls to avoid and the strategies to embrace for business success. As we move forward, let's bear these lessons in mind, learn from others' mistakes, and strive to build businesses that are not just successful, but also sustainable and ethical. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to House Lux Estate for more insightful business content.